Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee. Follow-up to the follow-up video. I couldn't get out to the bees yesterday, so I couldn't end up doing what I had planned to do, basically with swapping out a queen cell from my hive where I found the queen to the hive where I didn't find a queen. So I'm going to head out today. It is a gorgeous day out there, and I'm going to just do this introduction before I get out there, just so that I can get right into the bees as soon as possible, because it may be that it's too late to deal with that queen cell. It may have already hatched, or they may have dispatched it because of the fact that there was a queen in there. But I'm going to look through my hive number 2, which is the hive that I didn't see a queen or any sign of the queen. I'm going to look for her very carefully and very determinedly, very, you know what I mean. I'm going to try and find the queen. And if I can't find a queen, I'm going to go back to that hive number 1 and see if that cell still exists, maybe pull the cell, maybe graft it in there, or maybe pull the entire frame. I don't know. I'll kind of make a judgment call on that one when I get there. Thanks for all the comments. People have been providing a lot of good ideas and notions. There's some concern that if hives are queenless into mid-late July, that might not bode well, and that is a factor. I still think we have time, though. If that new queen is not laying yet, she probably will start laying soon. But I've swapped out queens as late as September in this climate, and it's been a success. So I'm not ready to pull the plug on requeening yet. I'm just going to wait and see what happens in the next week or so. But for now, it's about finding if I have a queen in hive number 2, and maybe using that queen cell, which I didn't see until I looked at it on the video afterwards. So thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. Okay, so this is the hive I want to go through really carefully and look for a queen and or queen activity. Went through it a few days ago, didn't see a queen, didn't see any sign of a queen. And if I can determine comfortably and confidently that there's no queen here, I'm going to go to my other hive and grab, if it's still there, a queen cell that they had made, a supersedure cell. So let's see what we got here. Looking on the lid here for the queen first off. No queen. These bees, I keep saying it, but it's worth noting, have been incredibly calm. So hopefully they stay that way, and hopefully I don't give them reason not to be calm. It's a glorious day here. It's I couldn't do this yesterday. I really wanted to do it yesterday, but it was raining, and I didn't want to upset the bees or hurt them. So, but today is another 30-degree day, 86 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow we're supposed to be getting up to around 33 Fahrenheit, which is, I think that's 91 or 92. And that's really hot for these parts. And it's been a tremendous summer that we've had a lot of heat, and hopefully that equates to some good bee weather, and it has been. It's been pretty good. Okay, let's see what we got in here. So just look at this inner lid for the queen as well. See her? It's a good frame of bees. So it's a honey frame. I don't expect to see the queen up here, but you just never know. See some drones, which is always a good thing. Another honey frame here. And they're starting to fill the rest of the honey frame. If you look down here, there's nectar. That's good. No queen on here that I can see. heavy, heavy frame of honey and pollen. And they're just filling it up. Wow, that one's got a ton of pollen. Look at that. They have just filled that frame with pollen. Looking for the queen. Another frame full of pollen and nectar. Have a close look at this frame. I don't see the queen here. I'm going to try and use my cell phone to look into those cells. Heard it recommended as a good trick. That's not bad. It gets you in there. There's just a few right down at the bottom here. Can you see it there? So there has been laying. The question is that just drone that's been laid by a worker, or is there a queen in here? That's the only larva I've seen so far. I don't see any eggs other than that, so I'm going to keep looking. At least larva is a good sign, possibly. Beautiful frame, and look at all the supersedure cells on there. Look at all the queen cells on the bottom there. So down at the bottom, they're technically swarm cells, right? They're cells that, if they end up hatching, mean that the queen could be leaving. And there's 5 of them on here. 5 of them on this frame alone. So I'm going to keep looking for the queen here. Let's look for more evidence of the queen as well. Yeah, there's more larvae here. There's larvae and there's eggs on this frame. This would be a perfect frame to make a split, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a split out of this one. There is a queen in this hive, absolutely no doubt about it. But there's a whole bunch of supersedure cells as well, and the box is getting kind of full now. So you might have to make some plans for this. Heavy, heavy frame here. Right now it's mostly heavy with nectar. There's another queen cell at the bottom of this one. And beautiful brood, look at that. So there definitely is a queen in here. Another supersedure cell though, another queen cell, look at that. This one right here. See that one? So this may be a good frame to take as well to make another split. But I mean, you don't want to split it unless you found the queen, because you don't want to take the queen out with the split. So I'm just going to keep looking for her. But I could easily take those 2 frames out to make a split from this hive. And there's another frame here. Let's see what we're looking at here. Some nectar on this one. empty frame on this side. Lots of honey going into this one. So what I'm not liking about this hive is they seem pretty crowded, and they've got a lot of swarm cells going, so they're getting ready to swarm. And you can see another swarm cell down here at the bottom. See that? And what's not filled with swarm cells is either filled with brood, nectar, or honey. And they don't have much room to grow, so I think the plan here has got to be make a split off it. And you know, the way I can increase my odds of a successful split is not to take all the frames with queen cells on them, just take some of them, leave some of them, and that way if I don't know where the queen is, it doesn't really matter, because they're going to be able to they're making a new queen anyway. Another great honey cell, honey frame that is. Okay, so this hive is going to get split, and I should probably add another super to it as well, because it has really exploded. There's more brood going, and there is a healthy queen in there, no doubt. You remember what Hannibal said from the A-Team?
I love it when a plan comes together.
I don't get to say that much when I'm beekeeping. So this hive here that I thought might be queenless is actually queen full and ready to swarm. So I found at least 3 cells with queen cells on them, and I'm going to make a split out of them. There's a ton of bees in here. There didn't seem to be that much the last time I saw them. Now I'm thinking differently. So I've prepared a box over there, box you see on the far side there, to put at least 4 frames from this box in. I may not put a full 4 frames in. I may put just a couple of 3 resource frames. I'm looking for the queen cells, I'm looking for workers, I'm looking for foragers, and the only problem is, it's kind of done in haste. The only problem I have is it'd be nice to move that new hive, the nuke, somewhere a little further away, because you can bet a lot of bees from that are going to come back to this hive. At least the foragers are probably going to. So anyway, we'll do a split here, and then we'll add a second box as well. There's my second box ready to go onto here, so that hopefully that queen will want to stay and not leave. I'm going to look again for the queen and try to look really carefully on the frames I'm taking out to make sure there's no queen on them. But if I don't feel confident about not having taken the queen, I'll leave some super procedure cells here too and just risk it. All right, so that's the plan. Let's see how it works out. Okay, so I know where the frames are that have the queen cells on them. So I'm just going to make a bit of room and then pretty much get right to them. I'll take a good look at them, see if I can really try and make sure the queen is not on them, and then move them over. Okay, so here's the first frame. You can see it's just swarm central. One is capped, 4, 5, 6 are not. So let's look for the queen on this frame. Take my time looking for her, and if she's not here, I will move this frame over. I don't want to shake the bees off this frame because it can do some harm. I mean, this other side is loaded with larvae and eggs, so it's an absolute primo frame for a split. I don't see the queen on here, so I'm going to move this frame over. Another good brood frame with the super procedure cell. So let's look for the queen on here. If I don't see her, I'm going to move this frame too. Frame just full of eggs, larvae, and I'll be capping this soon. Okay, that's all I'm going to mess with here. I'm going to put some nice empty frames right here so that so that they can work on them and know that there's lots of room to build. And then for this hive, I'll put a second brood box on it as well. So I'm going to take the bees that are out here on the honey and drop them in as well into the split hive and see if they'll stick around there. Okay, so now the second box goes on here, and whew, that should be this hive ready to rock and roll without swarming.